So the next question I have is, where are you going? When I was a flight attendant, one of the jokes was that the flight attendant would walk in and talk to the pilot and say, where are we going? And he'd say, I don't know, but we're getting there fast. And how many of us are just being in this human doingness than being in our human beingness? And we're just staying busy, but we don't seem to have any vision and any goal. All we have to do is to let ourselves start to dream and dust off those dreams and let that vision, that goal, come to you this moment, this year. The road tells us that if we will go and advance confidently in the direction of our dreams and endeavor to live the life that we imagine, we will meet with success unexpected in common hours. Edwin Gaines, a wonderful Unity minister, said, the how is none of your business. Your only job is to start to dream, to let yourself start to imagine, to let this whole goal that is your life start to become clear to you. Now, Thoreau, before he made this statement and knew this experience, he went away for 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days in a cabin in the woods because he needed to listen to who he was. I'm going to go on silent retreat later this month for 5 days, and I'm already nervous about that. But 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days. But that truth is within us if we will listen. And it is an ongoing experience in listening to yourself. Life is a journey and not a destination. So many of us think that once I accomplish this, I'm going to be finished with this me thing. But growing into your goal and knowing who you are is an ongoing thing. If you're breathing, you're part of the creation of this planet. You're created in the image and likeness of God. So you expressing and dreaming and living your dreams is how God does God's thing. We are making this up. So one of my favorite examples about this ongoing journey is Oprah Winfrey. Now, Oprah finished her series, her talk show this year after 20 plus years. And she said about a year ago, somebody asked her, well, Oprah, you don't really need to work anymore, right? I mean, you could just go retire on that mountain you have in Maui. I've seen her mountain. It's pretty cool. You could just go be there. I mean, what's the problem? Or she said, or I could just cycle around France with my croissants. Or I could, go around to Africa. Or I could cruise the world. But one of her friends said to her, Oprah, without a mission, you'd be miserable. Without a mission, you'd be miserable. And I love what Oprah's creating next. She's creating the Oprah Winfrey Network. And that word, that's own, right? That your dream is your own. No one else can do it. I bought a Christmas card for somebody this year that I loved. It was Snoopy from Peanuts. And Snoopy's saying, be yourself in this lifetime because no one can tell you you're doing it wrong. No one can tell you you're doing it wrong if you're just you. There's no way you can do you wrong. The only thing that happens to us is we start to fall asleep to the truth of who we are. And we don't stay on that edge of our next awakening. If we're not living on the edge, they say we're taking up too much space. So live on your edge, and what is it that you want to put on in the stone for your next, for where you're going? Oprah got motivated to make this network because she said she started watching TV. And the day she said of her TV that she watched, whether it was Andy Griffith or Bonanza, that there was some kind of meaning in television. And she said today television is like eating Halloween candy, that it feels really good at first, and then it feels really icky. So she said, that's what been a part of her mission, to make this world a better place. And it's within all of us. Where are you going? And finally, who's going with you? Friends, the best part of a unity community is, like Kelly shared, that people will love you until you love yourself. We don't tell you you need to do anything to be okay here. We tell you that you always had it in you. And we want to invite you to awaken to who you are. But that was what Jesus was all about. Jesus said, I'm into awakening. I'm going to paraphrase here. And I'm going to see that kingdom of heaven within you until you can see it. Now, if you see any film during this time where all these new films are coming out, go see The King's Speech. Has anybody seen it? It's phenomenal. Because this guy that was eventually King George VI, and I won't give it away because it's a documented story, was a man named Bertie that had a stammering problem. Now, Bertie was meant to be king. He had all the qualities of being the king. Where am I going? But the who am I is where he was confused, because he saw himself as a person that was a stammerer, that was a stutterer. But because of this mission that was within him to be king, life led him to a teacher. Who's going with me? A man that saw in him much more than a stammerer. He said, I've never seen a stammering baby. Never have. He said, that stammering you learned along the way. It was from some wounds you had. It was from some trauma you had. That even though your who am I is I'm a stammerer, that's not the truth of you. And I'm going to keep engaging with you as that person that is meant to be king. Is that person that's a great speaker. Is that person that is the truest essence of you, that God is the same of you. And as he kept being with Bertie, as this man, he said, I don't need you to be king or royalty. I want you to be a heart-to-heart connection here. And that's what we do here. The people just keep loving you until you can love yourself. And King George VI, as Bertie had emerged into this person that was meant to be king, he was at the beginning of World War II. And he delivered a speech that the English people needed from a man that could lead them and a man that knew who he was. I know public speaking has continued to be a place that I get to stretch, and to let people love you while you're doing something that you're not sure about is such an uncomfortable place. But we can't do it without each other. I want to thank my dear friend David Westbrook, who sits with me every time I do a talk and just loves me until I can love myself in delivering a message, because it's God speaking through me. Who am I? I'm a person that wants to deliver a message from God to the God within all of you all. And so people that love us while we do that thing that we're not quite sure how we're supposed to do it, but we know the Spirit has guided us to it. King George VI found his voice. Oprah found her next mission. And Jamal found his speed. This is what these people were standing for, rather than falling for anything. So what is it that you want to find this year? 2011, 525,600 minutes. Let's stand for something so we don't fall for anything.